Democrats are wetting their pants as Team Biden implodes. Anxiety is running high among top party officials who think the 2020 playbook isn't going to work again and that Biden's team may be too confident in it. Obama's former campaign chair, Jim Messina, summing it up this way, saying, quote, Democrats are bedwetters historically. They're like just full-throated effing panic. Sadly, it doesn't get much better for the alternative, Kamala Harris. Some Democrats think it's too late to rehab the Veep's image, but the media is giving it a shot. Take a look at this tweet from USA Today. Republican attacks are hurting Vice President Kamala Harris' approval rating, Democrats say, and the White House is running out of time to help her. But how many times do we have to remind them that maybe it's just the way Kamala acts?
My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Greg, so you have some thoughts about the things she had to say about coconut trees?
Well, two questions. What is she on, and where can I get it? The best part about this is, like, after she said that, it was kind of quiet. And she went on. Yeah, she didn't care. It was like when you tell a terrible joke on the 5, which I know. And she just rolled right on. But I keep thinking maybe she hates her job so much that she needs a few cocktails. I can't tell if she needed a nap or medical attention or a 30-day stay at a spa. But I know this is sexist because presidents drink all the time. You know, people get wasted. You know, I'm sure. I will be later. But this thing about Democrats are wetting their pants, I didn't know what Joe had was contagious. But I think worrying is not a bad thing. And I think it would be a good thing for Republicans to worry. You might actually do more things if you were worried. You might start thinking about things earlier because, you know, the Dems are worrying. That means they're going to do something. You don't want them to do anything.
So, Jessica, I was trying not to say the F word.
Yeah, I struggled in the first block.
I just want to make sure I didn't say it out loud. But do you agree with Jim Messina about Democrats being worried about his potential?
My seat right here. So
that's what that is, the pooling at the floor?
Totally, yeah. When I was heavily pregnant, I actually was super nervous in my water because Jesse had said, he's like, oh, it'll be fine, I'll help.
We don't want to help. Yeah.
Greg's completely right.
Thank you.
This is what about one part of it, but this is what we do, and it's benefited us. I mean, going into the 2022 midterms, you could find very few people, even on the Democratic side. Simon Rosenberg is someone who stands out, who was saying, we're going to be fine here, but everyone else was talking about this red wave. How bad is it going to be? We're definitely going to lose the Senate, and we're going to lose the House by 10 plus seats, 20 plus seats. That's positive Democrat thinking, and then there were people who were saying it's going to be 40 or 50 points of seats lost. So I would absolutely rather be running scared about this and to try to future-proof every single aspect of the campaign that may be vulnerable. Yeah. And the Cook Political Report put out something today talking about how if it is a rematch, and based on the Trump town hall this week, which I think hurt him in the general, but certainly helped him in the primary, and Biden has announced that it is going to be a rerun of 2020. And when you think about how polarized our country is, it will be very, very close again. Partisans are partisans, right? And I'm not sure that he will be able to. He certainly hasn't up to this point to move the needle with those Trump 2016 voters who then went for Biden in 2020. Biden really outperforms him with independents as well as suburban women. But yeah, wet the bed all the time, Democrats. We need to be ready for a very tight election.
So, Will, they're worried about the playbook in particular because they're just going to use 2020 in 2024. But the playbook for Biden was to keep him in the basement, not to have him out. They're still doing that with his White House schedule. But everybody else is back at work. Like, there's no excuse now to be always working from home.
Well, I also think that playbook is played out, Katie, because I think 2020, to the extent that you can put confidence in the outcome, was about a referendum on Donald Trump. It wasn't about Joe Biden. Nobody cast a vote in 2020 in support of Joe Biden. They either cast a vote for or against Donald Trump. And so then I begin to think, well, the camps are made. Who is persuadable? Who's different? But I'll just share this one story with you. I was right there hosting Fox and Friends. We had a focus group. They were lined up right there. And interestingly, it was full of Democrats that morning. And I got to tell you, more than a handful of people who said, I voted for Joe Biden, would be willing to now vote for Donald Trump. And when pressed as to why, their answers were about Joe Biden. They weren't about all of a sudden a conversion to love for Donald Trump. It was about a complete rejection of the last 3 years of Joe Biden. So what I'm telling you is while 2020 may have been a referendum on Donald Trump, 2024 turns into a referendum on Joe Biden, and that should cause them to wet the bed.
Judge, over to you.
You know what? 2020, I'm not quite sure how I compare it to then. But what I can tell you is things are very different now. If you think that we were divided in 2020, in 2024, it's worse than ever. I think Americans are more divided than ever. I think what is happening at the southern border, and honestly, I am glad that the southern governors are moving the illegals into the interior and into the Northeast, so the rest of the country can appreciate what the South has been going through as the border has been invaded. How much we're going to spend in the social safety net, in Medicaid, for people who are not citizens, and how much we're going to lose for citizens based upon the amount of the pot of money that we have to begin with. But even more than that, we've got an 80-year-old president who is clearly in cognitive decline. In 2 more years, I mean, this guy, he can't even walk straight, let alone answer a question. He can't answer the press corps questions. You know, how is he acting in world meetings? And then we hear about $10 million going to the Biden crime family, the daughter, the lover, the ex, the this, the that, from a Romanian corrupt guy who's got a company from which that $1 million came from, all Chinese-connected, Chinese party-connected companies and Chinese intelligence companies. And then we've got Kamala Harris right behind him. I don't know what she's on or what she does, but I'm telling you she's not right. And I don't want to hear that the Republicans are mean to her, and it's just not fair. You know what? Get out there and belt one out that makes sense. So as Joe Biden is losing to blacks, Hispanics, the moderates, and to women, and Biden themselves, the whole family is losing, I think it's going to be very different in 2024.
Yeah. And as Trump runs to the cameras to talk to the media, Biden stays away from them. So that will also maybe cause a problem.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.